Were you aware that whenever we ask some question from a large language model, we really don't understand how a model reaches to the output what it shows us? This area is still under lot of murkiness and vague. That is where this new conceptual functionality from OpenAI makes a lot of sense as they are trying to understand how a neural network, or in simple words, a large language model, reaches to its output. In this video, I will be showing you this effort as what exactly OpenAI has done here to answer some of the questions which are still really confusing the researchers out there. If you look at this diagram, this is where they are talking about dense neural activations and how a sparse autoencoder is encoding and decoding the output by activating specific pieces of information within its data corpus. Let me try to explain in more simpler words. First, let's try to understand the challenge here. The challenge is that we simply do not understand how to make sense of the neural activity within these language models today. And that is where we really need to understand if we want to control this AI. That is where all of these researchers are worried that AI is going to go out of hand. It will just become self autonomous because we don't understand it. If we don't understand something, we cannot control it, we cannot put up our defenses. In order to master something, we have to understand it. So, unlike most human creations, we don't really understand the inner workings of these neural networks. For example, engineers can directly design, assess, and fix a lot of machinery out there because we know their components, we know what exactly is involved and how these components interact with each other. But we cannot understand how this neural network works, or we do not understand as of yet. And that is why, because we understand how a machinery works, we can put up safety measures. But if we don't know how the neural networks work, how can we put up the safety measures? And that is what is really concerning. In order to understand and interpret neural networks, we first need to find useful building blocks for neural computations. But the problem is that the neural activations inside a language model activate with unpredictable patterns, seemingly representing many concepts simultaneously. They also activate densely, and it means that each activation is always firing on each input. But real world concepts are very sparse. In any given context, only a small fraction of all concepts are relevant. Just think about your brain. Whenever you are thinking about some specific issue, you only deal with small bits of information. You don't really go into your brain and activate everything. So, first, we need to understand about this terminology. When we say dense neural networks or dense neural activation, what exactly that means? Dense neural activations in these LLMs are like a team of experts working together to solve a problem. Imagine each expert has a specific task and they all communicate with each other to come up with a solution. In a neural network, these experts are artificial neurons that process information and pass it on to each other. The dense part means that each neuron is connected to many others, forming a tight web of connections. As data flows through the network, each neuron gets activated or turns on to contribute its piece to the solution. The collective effort allows the network to learn and represent complex patterns in data, like recognizing images or understanding language. Then comes what exactly is a feature in a neural network. Feature is a specific piece of information that a network uses to make predictions or classifications. And if you look at this hosted demo, this is where it is showing us the viewer for sparse autoencoder features. So for example, if we just select the model here, let's go with GPT-4, and I'm just going to select this autoencoder, and let's select a feature. We will just select maybe humans have flaws. Now, all these green ones, as you see here, these have been activated as response to this feature, and it is telling us this is the source document, And then this is the activation matrix. Now, as I mentioned earlier, feature is a specific piece of information that the network uses to make prediction or classification. Think of it like a characteristic or attribute of the data that network is analyzing. For example, if the network is looking at images of animals, some features might be has fur, has four legs, has a tail. That network uses these features to learn patterns and relationships that help it identify what's in the image. Feature can be raw data like pixel values in the image, or they can be text as you can see on your screen. You can select, you can show more. It is going to show you more features, or you could just simply select any other feature. It is going into the loop, or you could just click on the top left on the C viewer. It is showing you another interesting feature. For example, I'll just go maybe this dopamine. There you go. So you see, it is showing us the density and a lot of other statistical probabilities here, which you can read more. But even if you're not a machine learning engineer and really you don't care about these concepts, the problem here is that we don't know how these neural networks work, and that is a real cause of worry. That is something which keeps a lot of people awake at night, and that is where OpenAI is trying to come up with some sort of functions, as you can see in this GitHub repo, where you can install this autoencoder and run these activations on some of the questions to see whenever a prompt is asked, for example this one, which neurons get activated and how model is trying to reach to its conclusion, which it is showing us. Still very early days, still we don't know, still it is not perfect, but at least it's a right step in the right direction, because we really need to know if we want to alleviate a lot of anxiety among the lawmakers, among the general public, who is really confused and, to be honest, quite worried, especially when about due to the AGI sort of stuff where it will reach the human level intelligence. Then we really need to control it, because before it surpasses that level of intelligence, and that is not a sci-fi or fantasy anymore. This is the real issue with real concerns, as you already saw that what sort of challenges we are trying to tackle. So still early days. I'm quite hopeful that not only OpenAI but other players in the market too will reach to this conclusion, and we will soon be able to demystify how these neural networks are working. Inside, maybe we would use another neural network to demystify this. Who knows? That's it. Let me know your thoughts on it. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're already subscribed, then please share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.